Okay. What class is this? What classroom are we in? All right. What school are we in?
PNINS.
Which is the best school in the country?
PNINS.
Who's the best teacher? Okay. All right. Watch it this way. What country are we in?
New Zealand.
What is the youngest country in the world?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Fiji.
We're the youngest. We're the youngest country. Who's the first country in the world to see the sun?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Wow, out to the east, right, still part of New Zealand. And so, who was here first? Who's indigenous people of New Zealand? Māori. Put your hand up if you've got any Māori blood in you whatsoever. Alright, here's the next question. When you walk into someone else's house, whose rules do you follow? Theirs. When you walk into someone else's house, who do you show respect to? Alright, so what's the native people of the land called? Do we know the Māori term? Tangata whenua. Do you know what country in the world, what group of people that every other country in the world absolutely loves? New Zealand. Every other country in the world loves New Zealand. They love Kiwis. Does anyone know why? Everyone's like, what? They love us? Yeah, they do. Give me a reason. Why does everyone love Kiwis? Because we are the best at what? What are we the best at?
Rugby.
Yeah, we're best at rugby. That's one reason. But what are we really, really well known for around the world? Kapahaka, yeah. The only thing that separates us from any other country in the world is tikanga Māori. I was born and raised in Singapore. Where is Singapore? In Asia. So where do Chinese people come from? China. Where do Indian people come from?
India.
Oh, you fellas are smart, man. Where do Norwegian people come from? Indonesian people.
Indonesia.
Who else we got? Aboriginals. Australia. Papua New Guineans. Alright, people come. Where do Māori come from? What other country? Now we can go all the way back to Hawaii, but there is nowhere else in the world where Māori culture started. Polynesian culture, sure. So whenever anyone wants to represent this country when they go overseas, what culture do they take? Māori. Everyone loves Māori culture overseas because, one, we understand and we respect tangata whenua. Our manners are perfect. Please, thank you, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. We always respect the countries that we go into. Who knows what a bodyguard is? I used to be a bodyguard. I used to be a soldier and a police officer and a bodyguard. That was the first half of my life. And I could go into any country in the world with really scary people because I knew how to respect tangata whenua. I knew their whakapapa and I knew their kawa. I knew what the rules were and how things worked. So I'd go to a village and I would ask to speak to the chief. And if I had that meeting with the chief, I would always bring a gift and I would say, hey, I'm a visitor. What's the Māori word for visitor? Manuhiri. Well done. So I'm manuhiri. This is your house, your country. I'm here doing work, but I'm coming to the chief because he's the front door. And I bring a gift and I let him know who I am and what I'm doing and what am I asking him for. Permission. Everything that happens under his house, he's in charge of. I walk into his country, I come into his house. Now, I'm not Māori. We're Samoan. So my dad is 6'6" and Samoan. My mum is 5' nothing and Pākehā. My Samoan side is a Danish sailor who snuck off the ship to Samoa, fell in love with and married King Malietoa's daughter, and that's where our Samoan bloodline started, with a mischief sailor and a Samoan princess. That's our whakapapa on my father's line. My mother is English, and she was adopted, so she was whāngai out. When my dad was 6 years old in Samoa, he was whāngai out to New Zealand. He didn't even speak English. He got to South Auckland as a young Pacific Island Samoan kid that did not speak English and bounced from home to home until he joined the army. So he met my mum, and then my sister and I came along. Then I met my wife. Now my wife is Ngāti Kahununu and Tūhoi. If you know anything about iwi, that means they're really, really mischief and really, really mystical. And so on our Māori side, through my wife Tanya, that's where all the Māori warriors are. We've got the Samoan warriors, and we've got the Viking and the English warriors. And so Kingston and Kaya, my son and daughter, share Samoan, Māori, Danish. We've even got some Chinese in there on Nanny Sally's side. Woo! We've got all sorts in there. And so our whānau has a link in the Whakapapa to most of the races, because I was born and raised in Singapore. Because Dad was in the army and they were working in Singapore. So I grew up with Chinese and Asian and Indian and Kiwi and Samoan within the army. So when I do my pepeha, why am I doing my pepeha if I'm not Māori? Whose house am I sitting under in this country? Māori. So I don't do a pepeha because I have to. Someone told me I need to, otherwise I get in trouble if I don't. What am I doing? Yeah, and it's good manners. It's polite. As I'm standing on Papatūānuku here in Aotearoa, I'll do my pepeha to acknowledge the whare that I'm standing in, right? So I start with tihei mauri ora, ko ruapehu te mauna, my ngātau is a ruapehu up in Wairiri, ko hautapu te awa, the Hautapu River, up that end as well as my river, and ko Ngāti tu mātauenga te iwi. We're a military family. There's myself, my dad, my sister, and my son all wearing our medals. We're an army family. But I also say tarofa lava o rongo o Dion. I'm Samoa, my name is Dion. And I've done some really cool stuff overseas too. So I've been overseas, I've done heaps of big speaking stuff. I've got a speech that went over 2 million views. So I've done influencing stuff. So what do I influence? Generally people that struggle with stuff, mental health, trauma, all the tough stuff. That's what I helped all our veterans. Helped all of them deal with. Suicide, all that sort of stuff. Ka pai, piece of cake to deal with. And so I was out there running around the world doing all this really cool stuff. And I'm really expensive too, because I'm really good at what I do. And so that's all of our organisations. We help warriors, women, youth, you fellas and falesses, and we do a whole lot of business stuff. And so what I'm here to talk to you about today is all of our youth stuff. We do mental health stuff, all the anti-bullying stuff, and we're going to talk today about the AI Marae. Does anyone know what AI is? What is AI? Yep, you, the ponytail, that's you, yep. No, you haven't got a ponytail, right in front of you. Yep.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. What does artificial mean? Fake, yep. What's the opposite of artificial? Natural. So this is not natural. It's artificial, it's fake. What does intelligence mean? Yep. Intelligence is, if you want to boil it down, the capacity to problem solve stuff. Right? So artificial intelligence is using something else to get answers instead of your own brain. So for me, I'm terrible at math. Who here doesn't like math? I'm not really good at math. Alright, I'm a word guy. I like English, I like talking, I like writing, I like stories. But I love those that are really good at math, because what am I going to do? Sorry, can you help me with the thing? Because I don't know how to do it for you, you know? That's the village, we've got to help each other out, right? So we're going to talk about artificial intelligence within a marae concept. This is built on the tikanga Māori. We're going to follow the exact same rules. But we're going to do it with artificial intelligence so that it's tika. What does tika mean? Fire. Tika. Right. Correct. The right way to do it. So, excuse my words, we say tika, not tika. Alright? So tika means crap. So we're going to do the right thing. So we say tika, not tika. And we say taonga. Taonga means what? Treasure. So in my world we say taonga, not tokenism. Alright? Ticking boxes make it look like we're doing stuff when we're not. And I've got an asterisk program that helps kids before they get suspended and all the way up to jail and stuff. We do business stuff, and we build platforms for schools and organisations and all of this stuff. And so today, for you guys and ladies, the AI Marae. Marae, make sure it's under Tikanga Māori, and I'm going to teach you how to use AI to write stories and create artwork. And we're going to do it live in the room. You're going to tell me a story, I'm going to write it, I'm going to get my robot to write it, my robot to do the picture and do all that sort of stuff. And then I'll show you how to cheat on all your exams. Joking, I'm joking, right? All the teachers just looked at me funny there. So this is some of the artwork that we can create while we're writing stories, which is pretty cool. Put your hands up if you're really good at drawing. All right? I am hopeless at drawing. Liara? Yara. Yara, would you please report to the office? You won a prize. Everyone give her a hand. All right, so I can't draw. I'm hopeless at drawing. But I love artwork and I've got an awesome imagination. So I can use this to help get what's out of my head and draw and tell stories, which is awesome. And some of the artwork and some of the stories are amazing. Now this particular story here, I was dealing with a suicidal 14-year-old girl who was going through some really tough stuff, but she loved her little brother. So they came up to Line Academy headquarters with me and we sat down and we wrote these stories. So they started writing all these stories and all these storybooks and turned themselves into characters and started writing all these stories and sharing their love for each other and doing all these really cool things. Now I don't know about you, but I can't draw like that. And so we're going to teach you how to do all this stuff. And you can do some pretty cool artwork as well, right? When I show you some of the artwork I've created, it's pretty cool. There is no way I can draw that, but I would love to. And so we can tell our cultural stories too. Because even though Māori are tangata whenua, it's so important that your generation gets to know everybody else's culture. Because everyone in the world will go through the same challenges, and every culture are masters at certain things. And so for the elements, when I was in Asia, Chinese culture for the elements, that's what we used. Too much fire here, not enough earth and grounding. Too much water here, everybody's drowning. So they can use the elemental approach. We can use all the Māori gods and tikanga Māori. We can use for Asamo. We can use Hinduism. We can use whatever we want because we've got access now to everyone else's culture. Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
All right. So we created the AI Marae. How cool does that look? So that's tama. This is what the AI Marae looks like. And the idea came from a guy called Doug Healy. So Doug Healy, Hāti Māori, Ngāpuhi hard, saved his friend at work. They were working in a warehouse. Some stuff fell down. He pushed his mate out of the way, got hit, broke his back. So he was told he would never walk again. But he had a dream when he was talking to his tupuna that he would run marathons. Now, could you imagine that, having a broken back and laying there when you used to be this fit, muscly, strong fella, being told you can never walk again, and then having a dream that you're going to run marathons? So his ancestors told him, you're going to be running marathons. What he does now, he takes Kiwis and runs marathons all around the world. So it's a pretty cool guy. And so he designed his digital whenua. He took the Marae whenua, the Marae process, how he was brought up, and he turned that into digital. Because he wants to empower Māori people. And he said, the only way I can do that on a global scale is to get online and to use AI. So he started mastering AI, and he created Nanny Polly. This is Nanny Polly. This is a fake avatar that Doug Healy created so that when we're in the AI Marae, we always respect Nanny Polly. It should be exactly the same as sitting down and having a cup of tea with your nanny. That means you watch your manners and you speak very, very simply and you do as you're told. All right? So when you start telling your little bots what to do, we always do that respectfully. And so he linked tikanga Māori with AI. How cool is that picture?
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, right? He's like, right, I'm Ngāpuhi hard. I'm going to train you on how to get the word out on what we do. And he's doing pretty good. Back when we first started this, we got 24.1 million reach on Facebook. Now we're over 30 million. We do a post and over 30 million people around the world will see that post. That's powerful influence in the back end of algorithms and social media, right? Anyone else here had 30 million views on anything? No? Kingston's actually got more views on his YouTube channel than I do. He's doing better than me at the moment. But we're reaching a lot of people with this. I was already using it for mental health artwork. So all of these are my artwork. So because I can't draw, but I love artwork, I started using AI artwork to help people through mental health. This is called sunflowers. When you have a bad day, even though there's beauty all around you, you can't see it. So I can explain that, but doesn't that picture look a heck of a lot better? I was using it to empower our warrior tribe. So this artwork that I created is called Hunting. You do not want to mess with a Kiwi soldier in war because we're some of the mightiest warriors that have ever walked the planet as warriors. The 28th Māori Battalion, feared and respected by all of our enemies. And so what you'll see a lot in the AI world is you'll see tāmoko that's not tāmoko, right? Because we don't want to take our taonga and our treasures and all that sort of stuff and just give it to the world. So artwork is indicating that it's there without it truly being there. And this particular one is we use camouflage paint on our faces. So I created this artwork to show that, hey, there's tikanga Māori, there's 28th Māori Battalion Hunting, but it's smeared. Because when you get sweaty with your camouflage paint, it smears on your face, right? So that's why I created that artwork. When I was dealing with a lot of the kids that go through stuff, even suicidal youth, it's not a word to be scared of, piece of cake. This is a girl explaining to me what her depression felt like. So when I'm sitting down, I'm counseling kids, I'm like, hey man, what's going on? We write stories. And we put pictures up. And so she felt like she was in a dark forest and there was something scary there. But the more we talked about it, it wasn't something scary, it was something awesome that was just scared. And so we were able to tell that in stories. And I can't draw like that. How cool does that look? Really cool, eh? And then mischief fellas. All right, we got a lot of mischief fellas because we're all hearty. You know, we want to get out there and do stuff. So I help troubled youth, gang kids, all sorts of stuff. And they're awesome. So we're writing stories. So these couple of my young fellows, won't tell you their names, but they're doing amazing now because they can get this stuff out and share it, which is really cool, right? Respecting our women. My dad is a massive mummy's boy. My dad loved his mum and so protective of his mum. I'm a massive mummy's boy. I love my mum. The first thing my dad said is you will respect the woman in your family, starting with your mum and your sister. It's the same thing I taught Kingston. Kingston's tight as with his mum. We respect the woman in our tribe. Why?
Common sense.
Yeah, it should be common sense, my bro. But yeah, but what's the main reason that every indigenous culture protects their women?
Because they cook your food.
Yeah. No.
Because they carry you for 9 months.
Yeah, that's we're almost there. Why?
They make the future.
They make the future. Our women are taonga. They're treasures. They're the only ones that have the ability to grow life. Men actually give life because we put the baby there, and then the woman grows it. Now, if we're in battle, you see a haka or any of that sort of stuff going on. Where are the women?
At the back.
Yeah, they're at the back, not because they're the least important, it's because they're the most important. If we lose a couple of guys at the front, we just make a couple more. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, we'll lose those 3, we'll make 3 more. But if we lose 3 women, those 3 branches are cut off. So our women are protected not because they're weak, it's because they're more important. And us warriors know that. So a righteous warrior always protects their women, starting with their mum, their wife, their daughters, their sisters. And so we use this artwork. That's not a real person. That's not a picture. That's artwork created by my artist bot. Listen to how I'm describing how I see Pacific women. And that's what came out. How does that look? Amazing, right?
Pretty.
I know, and she's gorgeous. But would you mess with her? Look at the look in her eye. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's hearty, but don't cross her. Mana, yeah? Everyone knows what mana means, what it looks like, what it feels like? Yeah, highest level of respect. And then there's an even higher level of respect. Don't mess with Nanny or Papa, alright? You respect your elders. This is probably my favourite piece of artwork that I've ever created, because there's just such dignity in it. And again, look at the tattoos. They're not even real tattoos, it's an indication. I'm not trying to say that's accurate taonga and tāmoka, that's an indication that there's culture there. Make sense?
Yeah.
I did business stuff and we sell out all the time, blah, blah. So Doug came down and we built the whole AI Marae up at Lion Academy headquarters. We had 4 hours sleep in 3 days. We just stayed up there. Remember this, Kingston? And we just stayed up there and I built the whole thing. Doug would present and explain it, I'd listen and map it and build the whole thing. And that's what it looked like to the algorithm. There's Doug in his waka, madly paddling away, telling everyone about AI, and there's me as the founder of the Lion Academy, building all the stuff in the algorithm in the background. Pacific Fusion. Yeah, all the fusion coming together. So we built AI Marae, and these are the options now for schools. So we're going to teach students how to create art and stories, which we'll do next. But there's an e-commerce side of this for the older students in your last year. We can learn how to make your merch and sell it online and create posters and pillows and cell phone cases, and you can make money from your artwork. But we've got to train the teachers how to do this. Because as everything's advancing, no one's upskilling the teachers. The kids are using more AI than the teachers are. True story?
Yeah.
Yep, my son's faster than me now. And I'm leading this in the world, and he's faster than me now. And he's 12, and I'm 50. So we've got to keep up. Otherwise, we're not going to listen to us as teachers, right? And so there's money in this, all right? There's heaps of money in this, because it's valuable. So it's $197 per student. It's $500 per student for e-commerce, and it's $1,500 per teacher. Right, that's lost money, eh? Kingston's like, woo, woo, rubbing my hands together, more Roblox. But for PNINS, it's a koha for Nani Polly. So what we're going to do, what I offered to Hamish, is we'll train 20 students on how to do artwork and story. We'll train 10 students on how to do the e-commerce side of things. I'm sure you've got some e-commerce stuff going on around the school somewhere. And we'll train 4 teachers. That's going to be the gift for the school. The other thing about that is we can actually build platforms. So we're going to build this for every school. So we could actually build an AI Marae just for PNINS. And everyone in the school can have access to it. But that's not enough for me. I want to make sure that the whole family gets access to everything we have. So if we're doing AI Marae schoolwork down here, then your parents can do business stuff. And you've got any warriors in there and women, all the rest of it, everything's covered. So that's why I'm down here today. So what actually happened was I'm not supposed to be presenting this to you guys today. I was actually supposed to present this to the cultural team so that we could put it in the school. But there are no accidents. What I love about this is the very first group of people that have ever heard about this. This is the first time this has ever happened. Ever in history. Who got to see it first? Tamariki got to see it first. How cool is that? That's really cool. Not as cool as actually writing some stories and doing some art, right?
No.
So how, you want to do some of that?
Yeah.
Shall we look at that right now?
Yeah.
All right, let's do one thing first. Everyone, ear 2, stand up. All right. So I want everyone to breathe in really deep through their nose for 4 seconds. Go. Hold it for 4 seconds. Okay, let's try that again. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Now hold it for 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1.25, 1. Breathe out. Ugh. Have a shake. Ugh. Click your neck. There you go. All right, grab a seat. Well done, you guys. Well done. I can't believe you listened through the whole presentation. All right. Let's have some fun, shall we? Let's see. Well, you say the one next. The score was tied. Everyone goes, woo. The final moments were tense. Thaylor charged forward with the ball, his powerful legs pounding the ground. Angus grew a towering rosebush in his path. Go with a burst of speed, tackled him with a hug so warm that it melted the centre's heart. Lila seized the moment, turning a nearby cabbage into a chocolate football. She kicked it to Angus, who dribbled it skillfully before passing it back to Isla with a final moment kick.